Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into my podcast with David F. Anderson Sr. We have a great show for you. Let's not waste any more time, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening in. My name is David F. Anderson Sr. I'm your host for today, and my co-hosts are Carol Stevens, Linda Clark, Ralph Thomas, and Richard White. We've got a great show planned for today. The discussion, for years, I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only one. And then even when I found out what dyslexia was, I still thought I was alone and the only one. No one talked about it. For some reason, there's this unbelievable stigma around dyslexia, as if you are not equal to or equivalent to anyone else. I don't quite understand it, but I know it's there because I felt it myself. So I know others feel it. This is what this episode's about. This is about to make sure you understand you're not alone. We have to make sure everyone understands dyslexia and what we can do and what we can't do. All right, let's start this one.
There are two main types of dyslexia: developmental dyslexia, present from birth and often runs in families, passed down through genes. Acquired dyslexia develops later because of a brain injury or illness. Developmental dyslexia is more common than acquired dyslexia. Dyslexia can also be described by the kind of reading difficulty a person has. Here are the main types, explained in everyday language. Phonological dyslexia, trouble with sounds. People with this type have a hard time sounding out words and matching letters to sounds. For example, they might struggle to figure out how to say simple words like cat by breaking it down into cat. Surface dyslexia, trouble with whole words. People with this type find it difficult to recognize whole words, especially those that don't sound the way they're spelled. For instance, reading a word like yacht can be tough because it doesn't sound like it looks. Mixed, double deficit, dyslexia. This means a person has challenges with both sounding out words and recognizing whole words. It's a combination of the other two types. Dyslexia, medically reviewed, last updated on January 29, 2026. Dyslexia is a learning disability that disrupts how your brain processes written language. It's lifelong but manageable with the right support. Early diagnosis, specialized teaching and assistive tools can help children and adults improve skills and build confidence. Dyslexia is a learning disability that affects your ability to read, write, and spell accurately. It happens when your brain has trouble understanding written words. If you have dyslexia, you might confuse directions, like left and right. Feel more challenged by word-based math problems. Find learning another language difficult. Have trouble remembering order, like what letter comes after K in the alphabet. Mix up letters, like reading bad as tab, read slowly. Spell words the way they sound, like said instead of said. Understand spoken words easily but struggle with written ones. Most people get a diagnosis as children, but adults can have dyslexia, too. It's a lifelong condition. Dyslexia is fairly common. It affects roughly 1 in 14 people around the world. This neurodevelopmental condition, a difference in how your brain grows and works, doesn't affect how smart you are. It simply means your brain processes language in a different way.
You have to find what works for you. And that's what we're here for. To discuss dyslexia, modern technology, what works, what can make people's lives better. That's what we're here for. And that's what we're going to discuss today, how that starts. 4 children in every classroom in America have some form of learning disability directly related to dyslexia. 4 children in every classroom. And that's not the headline on the news. 45 million people with dyslexia, and I'm the only one talking about it. I say it all the time that it would be impossible for you not to know someone who has dyslexia. It would be. There's just that many cases, but yet we're not talking about it. And these people who have dyslexia are left struggling to try to figure it out. It's unbelievable. If you have dyslexia, or you know someone who has dyslexia, or you have a college student or someone in school struggling, you have to get Speechified to change their life. You don't want them to fall behind. There's no cure for dyslexia, so stop looking. find solutions. The first one is Speechified. Okay, let's work on today's show. We've had countless U.S. presidents who've had dyslexia, but yet that was never the topic. George Washington, our very first president, dyslexia. Thomas Jefferson, dyslexia. Andrew Wilson, dyslexia. John F. Kennedy, dyslexia. Dwight D. Eisenhower, dyslexia. George W. Bush, dyslexia. These were great men of power. It should have been the number one topic that we should be talking about, how they successfully navigated dyslexia. What was the tricks that they used? 7 of our presidents in the United States had dyslexia. That's amazing. Do you know, if I knew, when I was growing up, if I knew that, how much that would have made a difference in my life? That positive thought right there would have made a difference in my life. That's what I'm talking about. Just talking, having this podcast and letting people know you're not alone. Plenty of people have it. The number of people with dyslexia almost surpasses the number of people with disability in the United States if you put them all together. Think about that just for a minute. All the people in the United States lumped together as one, which is how the government does it, titled disabled, they make up 47 million people in this country. 47 million people in the United States are classified as disabled, and dyslexia isn't one of those classifications. But yet dyslexia makes up 45 million people. Dyslexia is the only one that we're not talking about. Democratic Senator John Hickenlooper, not to be outdone. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy. Both of them gentlemen have dyslexia. They're pushing for legislation to help people with dyslexia. They can't do it on their own. They're the only two out there doing it. 20% of the population has dyslexia, and that's not the main focus of every discussion on every news station and every home. The only way to get help with dyslexia is to help yourself. There's 45 million people in this country with dyslexia. If Uncle Sam was to declare that a disability and required special care as they do every other disability in this country, we would be bankrupt. We would be bankrupt. The only way to overcome dyslexia is through discussion, honest discussion, and quit trying to keep it in the dark. Modern technology levels that playing field. That's what we should be discussing. Every single day, that's what we should be discussing. Okay. Once we have an honest discussion about dyslexia, you can understand there's always a gift. Dyslexia is a gift. You just got to understand it. News anchors like Robin Cornell and Stephanie Rule, Anderson Cooper, they all have dyslexia. But we don't hear that each night on the news. Dyslexia and the struggle is real. It doesn't have to be. Richard Engel, Laura Shen says, all these anchors have dyslexia. You know someone with dyslexia. This can make a difference in their life. That's what this is about. If I knew all those people were out there, my struggles would have changed. At some point, you give up.
Most people are hesitant to share that they have dyslexia. David himself spent more than 60 years concealing his dyslexia from friends and family because he felt ashamed. He spent every day making sure no one found out about his struggle. As a result, he never addressed it, he only hid it. David's story shows that even those who appear successful may struggle in silence, and that opening up can be a powerful step toward acceptance. Here are just a few sports figures you may not have known have dyslexia. NBA star Magic Johnson, NFL quarterback Tim Tebow, Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps, F1 driver Lewis Hamilton, Special Olympics athlete Mary Davis, Olympic diver Greg Louganis, NFL player Rashawn Gary, football coach Rex Ryan, analyst and former player Mark Schlereth, and running back Frank Gore. Their achievements show that dyslexia doesn't define one's potential for greatness. Those success stories are important because they show others with dyslexia that there is hope. Dyslexia does not have to define you, instead, let it empower you.
Of change in your life or support someone who is navigating dyslexia. As someone from Illinois, I want to highlight that people from all backgrounds face these challenges. Not only have everyday people faced these challenges, but even prominent figures like Justice Ann M. Burke, who served on the Illinois Supreme Court and lived with dyslexia, have shown that dyslexia doesn't have to hold you back. There are also many famous actors who've overcome dyslexia and gone on to success. Tom Cruise and Keira Knightley have starred in blockbuster movies. Whoopi Goldberg is an Oscar-winning actress and talk show host. Henry Winkler, best known for playing the Fonz, has written children's books about his experiences with dyslexia, showing that challenges can lead to creative success. Tom Holland, Jennifer Aniston, Keanu Reeves, and Will Smith have all achieved impressive careers, proving that dyslexia doesn't define your potential. If you're listening and don't have dyslexia yourself, take action. Share this podcast with someone you know who might be struggling with dyslexia, so they know they're not alone. Let's build a supportive community by spreading awareness and encouragement. Your effort can make a real difference. David relies on a range of cloud-based tools, including Podbean for podcast hosting, Canva for design work, Microsoft Office for document creation, and Grammarly for editing, to curate his podcast and raise awareness of dyslexia. This does not include the cost of producing each show, which David covers through the sale of his books. Visit davidfandersonsenior.com, explore the blog posts, and consider purchasing a book to support his mission and make a difference in the lives of those affected by dyslexia. Help us keep spreading the word via the book. Please log on right now to davidfandersonsr.com and get a book today. Your purchase helps us continue our important work and supports everyone involved in.
I think you get a better understanding now when I say you're not alone. Millions of people have dyslexia. Millions of us out there. This podcast is designed so we can talk to each other. We can communicate. We can tell each other what works, what doesn't work. Share the stories of our lives. That's what it's for. It's to help each other without struggling. I struggled for more than 60 years. I don't want anyone else behind me to struggle. I know things that can make life easier. You out there know things that can make life easier. You know stories that you can tell that can help each other. That's what we need to do. That's what this is about. Let's help each other by simply sharing our life stories. It's that easy. If it works for you, it might work for someone else. If it works for me, it might work for you. That's what this is about. But we won't know. I didn't know all those people had dyslexia growing up. I didn't know the presidents and all the people in sports and news. I didn't know none of that. Those stories weren't shared with me. I believed I was alone. I believed it was my own struggle. And there's so many people out there that think the same thing. And it's not their own struggle. It's our struggle together. We're going to drag dyslexia out of the dark and face the fact that it's a part of society. We can't hide from it, nor should we. It's out of our control. If you have dyslexia, you have no control over it. There's nothing you can do. That's it. It's a part of you. It's a part of your life. It's a part of our world. 45 million people in the United States. 4 children in every classroom. 1 out of every 6 people. It's time we started talking. It's time we drug dyslexia out of the dark and into the light.
Countless successful people have thrived with dyslexia, proving that challenges can be overcome and dreams are within reach. Despite these inspiring stories, conversations about dyslexia are still too rare, leaving many to struggle in silence. David is determined to change that. Through the sale of his books, he is raising awareness, offering hope, and reminding everyone affected by dyslexia that there are real solutions and a supportive community waiting for them. While dyslexia cannot be cured, help is available, and, most importantly, you are not alone. Knowing this can make all the difference in someone's journey. Proceeds from every book purchase go directly to empower individuals with dyslexia and their families. Your contribution helps us expand these vital resources and reach even more people who need support. You can make a meaningful impact today. Visit davidfandersonsenior.com, our official website, and purchase a book to join our mission of spreading understanding and hope. By taking this simple step, you help us bring encouragement and solutions to those who need it most. Remember, you are in great company, like Cher, John Lennon, Noel Gallagher, Tony Bennett, Ozzy Osbourne, Florence Welch, Joss Stone, Jewel, Carly Simon, Sir Tom Jones, Harry Belafonte, Gwen Stefani, Bob Weir, and Nigel Kennedy, all of whom share the experience of living with dyslexia. Their stories, and yours, inspire hope and connection within our community. Please like and share this podcast, and tell your friends and family. Together, we can make a real difference in the lives of so many. Thank you for supporting the cause. Type it in your browser now, davidfandersonsr.com. Thank you for tuning in to our show. We're dedicated to shining a spotlight on dyslexia, one episode at a time. Wishing you a great night from all of us at My Podcast with David F. Anderson, Sr. See you next time.